So I did a gig this weekend at a Catholic elementary school. It was a father-daughter dance. There were only about 100 people in attendance altogether, kids and fathers, but it went pretty well. And I want to talk about that gig, but first I want to talk about the picture I posted on Facebook from the event. Now, the items that I brought to the event really had a lot to do with you guys. Some of you wanted to see this stuff set up in the wild, so I thought this was a really good opportunity because this was kind of a low-key gig. This wasn't a wedding reception or a big event. This was an event that I did for a friend of mine. I thought this was the perfect opportunity to take some of this stuff out and play around with it. First thing I want to talk about are the color stand LEDs, or CSL 100s. There's some very strong opinions on these. You either love them or you hate them, and I get that. They're not for everybody. They're pretty solid. They got an RF remote on them, so they're easy to change the colors on them. But what most people are doing, I think, is thinking these are good with scrim on them. You don't have to bring an extra light source or whatever, and that's very true. They look great with scrim. The thing is that you really need a 3-sided scrim to do that, because you need the scrim in the back to make the light reflect on the front, which gives you no shadow. It's a great look, but I don't have a 3-sided scrim. And the theme of the dance was Candyland, and I thought the legs kind of reminded me of Good and Plenty, or I don't know, Mike and Ike, or the game Candyland itself, so I thought it was kind of cool to leave the scrim off. So now let's talk about the table. There have been some very strong opinions on that too, because I left the ADJ logo on there, which some people were absolutely horrified about. I don't think it's a big deal, especially at a school dance, and it says ADJ, which is kind of appropriate, and as far as logos go, you could do worse. If you're going to leave a company logo up, the ADJ logo is pretty attractive and says exactly who you are. You're a DJ. The big reason I left the logo on there is because A, I don't have another logo to put up on there yet. I want to do a custom one that kind of looks like my sub-safes with my logo on it, as you can see. But the other reason is I didn't want to field off the questions of, what table is that? I didn't have any of those questions because I had the logo right on it. People knew what table it was. And again, these pictures are really more for you. Now I want to talk about the speakers for a minute. I used the EV EKX series, the 12 tops and the 15 subs. Big overkill for this event. Let me explain. First of all, I wanted to show off the speaker stands. You guys wanted to see them, so I had to bring a speaker that fit on the speaker stand. We were going to be in a very large gymnasium, and I felt like that just a 10-inch FBT top wasn't enough because of the space. Not because of the people, but the space was so big. So we decided to go with the EKXs. But then the venue was changed last minute. The gymnasium does not have air conditioning. We've had a heat wave here in Milwaukee this last week. So we ended up in the church basement, which is like a concrete bunker, much smaller. But we already had the stuff loaded in the truck, so we went with it anyway. You know, I turned the speakers down to minus 6 dB on not only the subs, but the tops, and it did very well for the space. Sounded great. Didn't sound too loud, didn't honk. They were nice. They worked well. Did I need EKXs? Absolutely not. I could have used a lot of different configurations, but because we thought we were going to be in the large space, we went with those. Now on to the event, which went very well. It was a 3-hour event, and I thought that was probably an hour too long. 2 hours is good. You figure a Disney film is about an hour and a half long. That's how long you want to do an elementary school event, because you're not going to keep people's attention span for that long. But we did okay. These kids were 5 years old through 13. And of course the 13-year-olds were kind of like, nah, what are we doing here? But the kids loved it. And I kept it upbeat. And I kept it fun. A lot of activities. Anything from the twist, which they didn't do, but they hopped around to it, to jump around, to the chicken dance, to the hokey pokey, to the Macarena, to cha-cha slide, and everything you can think of. The other thing I did that was a real good time killer was musical chairs. I never thought of doing that before, but someone had suggested, why don't you do musical chairs? It worked great on 2 levels. The first level, it was a great time burner and the kids got involved. And the second level it worked well was that the dads got involved kind of as the referees. They enjoyed that. They liked kind of being a part of it. And if 2 kids ended up in a chair and were fighting over who actually got the chair, one of the dads would go over and play rock, paper, scissors with the kids. I didn't ask them to do any of this. They just did it. The dads were also in charge of moving the chair out for the next round. And I probably burnt a good half an hour with that, and the kids had a lot of fun with it. We also did the limbo, which burnt probably 15-20 minutes, which we needed. On a 3-hour school dance, we needed those time burners, and they worked very well. And we closed with Frozen. I didn't play Frozen and let it go until the very end, and it was a big hit. But it was fun, and it went well. And that's what was going on with it. So we'll do more videos, hopefully tonight. I got some errands to run today, but stay tuned. We got more stuff coming. Thanks for watching. Practice and enjoy.